Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my stream. My name's Bug. I'm in a band called Bug Hunter. It's Sunday at noon, so I'm starting a little bit late today. My wife made me lunch, and I was finishing that up, and then I ran right upstairs so I could hang out with all my internet friends. If you've never been to a stream before, here's how I kind of run it. I play some songs. I take questions. I chit chat about the things going on in my world. Talk about jam mechanics, talk about music, talk about touring, talk about spreadsheets, talk about the original 151 Pokemon. And yeah, so I normally, what I like to do is I like to start off with a song just so that everyone remembers that's the thing that I do. So why don't you shout out your song suggestions, and then after you're done shouting it out, go ahead and type it in the chat box, and then I will read them and see if we can get the hive mind to commit to something. In the meantime, who is here? I see Snorby, I see Time, I see Jay's Art Place, Carried Coin, Emily, Ame Aru, Mackenzie Diaz. We got a Duck Pirate, Julie Lorimer. We got MLP Reductions. We got Kevin Lorimer. Are Kevin Lorimer and Julie Lorimer, are you a couple? Because you have the same last name, and you're always both in the streams. And I like to imagine that you're both sitting side by side on your phones, just tip-tapping away. Maybe it's a coincidence. We got Eric, we got Kim Mischief, Up to Mischief, Knacker is here, Pierker is here, Eevee13, Zeldamon, which is not one of the original 151 Pokemon. I don't have any confidence to say that that is not one of, in the extended 1,000+ Pokemon that there are, but I know Zeldamon, not in the subset that I know. Uriel is here, Biker Skyla is here, Gerby's here, Brad Lane, cool, Greg was first. Okay, now I'm actually reading what you're saying. See some Alchemical Romance, and I see some Baby Teeth, I see some Digimon, Platonic Best Friend. Eric just watched the latest episode of Jam Mechanics, really enjoyed Guilty Verdict. That's a good one. Don't know how to play it, sorry. I could, but probably not. Let's see. Julie Lorimer, sitting at our computers like 2 feet apart. Awesome, love that. That's great. I'm glad that my mental image was pretty much spot on. A lot of Alchemical Romance. I don't even remember how to play that song. Zeldamon says, I made my username when I was 9, a good 16 years ago. Yeah. All the best usernames are made when you're a child on the family computer. Do people have family computers anymore? I don't know if that's still a thing, but when I was growing up, there was one computer, and it was in the living room, and we all had to share it. I don't know. I doubt that's a thing anymore. I mean, it's just me and Ladybug, so I wouldn't know. But see some Francesco, some Point to Prove. Julie knows. Gosh, I could play Alchemical. I just don't remember how to play it. Are y'all cool if I wing it? It's didn't know you were a wizard. That explains the hat, and then it's didn't know you're a witch. That explains the cat. Okay, yeah, whatever. I don't know how to play this song. Let's yeah, we're going challenge mode on Sunday, February 23rd. That's a good start. I didn't know you were a wizard. I guess that explains the hat and the silly words you whispered that have put me in a trance. I didn't believe in magic even as a little kid, but if this trick ain't magic, I don't know what magic is. Yeah. You told me that you liked me and I didn't bat an eye. You told me that you needed me and I swept it to the side. But then you told me that you loved me. Now no one's as shocked as I. 'cause that explains the cat. And the reason is that bless you as I sneeze as it walked past. I didn't believe in magic, but you cast it on me quick. You're my romantic alchemist, too charming to resist. No, I didn't believe in magic or in you until I did. You're wicked and familiar, I'm getting used to this. You told me that you liked me and I did bad, and you told me that you needed me and I swept it to the side. But then you told me that you loved me. Now no one's as shocked as I, that it's those words in that order that's transformed this stubborn mind. I've had a moment of lucidity. The spell has waned enough for me to wriggle from its grip on me. Ever since they cast it, I've struggled with my vision. The only thing I see is their face. Quick, while there's still time, I need to find and cast the counter curse. I'll never have this chance again if they find out this didn't work. I found their spellbook in amongst their potions, robes, and cows. I've got no chance to practice it. I need to cast it now. This is a bring your own sing-along portion of the stream. Normally I have a crowd of about 200 people to help me with this, but it's just you. And if you're the Lormers, you have one extra person to help you, but otherwise you're on your own. Reason, logic, rationale, protect me from this magic spell. Reason, logic, rationale, protect me from this magic spell. Reason, logic, rationale, protect me from this magic spell. Reason, logic, rationale, protect me from this magic spell. I didn't know you had a power like this. I didn't believe in supernatural gifts. But my romantic alchemist is too quick. I feel tricked and haven't been the same since. Reason's not a reason when your heart does not believe. And there ain't no shot for rationale when dealing with the magic spell that works as well as that one where you told me that you liked me and I did bad, and you told me that you needed me and I swept it to the side, and then you rolled some sort of supernatural 20 on your die that made those words in that order hit before I changed my mind. Yeah, buddy. That's how you play Alchemical Romance when you haven't played it in a long time and you don't remember the words, and the whole time you're like, oh god, I forgot the next line, and then by the end of the line you remember what the next line is and then you sing it. Yeah, buddy. Thanks everybody for singing along in the chat. That really helped. It's a good song. It's a good song. I'm proud of that one. Proud of it. Love it. Happy with how it came out. Can't believe that it's generally in like the bottom 3 on that album for listens and love. It's a great song. It's a good album. Happy with it. Okay. Let's do a little cozy Q&A. This is just your chance. It's the 68 of you, almost nice, watching, can ask me anything you want to know about jam mechanics, about any of this. You want to know anything about this? You want to go buy your tickets? The link is in the thing below. Go get tickets. It's gonna be real fun. If you enjoy watching my streams, it's time to get out of the house. It's time to go to the real world and see me in person. You can meet me. A lot of people are like real surprised that they can meet me. I'm meetable. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw those in the chat. I just realized that mine wasn't scrolling. Where in Detroit will the show be? It's at a place called Sanctuary, so everyone is safe there. Greg says, I already have tickets though, and I convinced a friend to come. What else do I do? Let's MLM this. Go. Each of you have to go find 3 more friends to go, and they have to find 3 more friends to go, until everyone is there. UBM says, I can't believe you killed Big Man, Big Soup, Big Cigar. It's Big Businessman, Big Soup, Big Cigar. I didn't kill him. Inspired Draw says the new episode of Jam Mechanics was so good. Thank you. We were really excited to get back into the Jam Mechanics world. We have the first half of season 3 done, which is very exciting. Because it gives us time to work on the second half of season 3 while we roll those episodes out. But also, I'm just happy with it. It's a good season so far. It's one of the things about Jam Mechanics. I can't tell you if the second half of the season is going to be good. We don't know. That's the problem with, like, you can be like, if you were like writing a TV show or like a web series or something, you'd be like, oh, you're gonna love the ending. I have no idea if you're gonna love the ending, but I know that the first half is real good. As Caitlin says, we are absolutely in the Jam Cabin. We are incapable. So Timesum wants to know, why was Serendipity Bop removed from Happiness Without a Catch? Was it intended to fit in its original story somehow? That's a great question. So I did mention somewhere that the new theme song for Jam Mechanics is a song I wrote called Serendipity Bop, that I mentioned that it was cut from Happiness Without a Catch. And that's not super accurate in that I didn't write it for Happiness Without a Catch and then remove it. I wrote it with like the first batch of songs. So like at the time, it was like I had Too Bad, Too Bad and a Ghost. I had Shocking Plot Twist. I had Not Like That. I had Disc Golf. I had Serendipity Bop. And that might have been it. That might have been it when I was like first around the time. It was when I wrote Robin a Bank and Fanfiction that I realized what the album needed to be. So when I wrote Robin a Bank Fanfiction, that's when I went and wrote 30 Plan. I wrote, Platonic Best Friend was another one I had. I wrote 30 Plan. I wrote Alchemical Romance. I wrote A Bedtime Story. I wrote Coward to fit the theme. Serendipity Bop was never going to be on Happiness Without a Catch, but I was writing it. I did write it with that batch of songs, and thought it would be on whatever my 4th album was, at least as a bonus track, maybe. I don't know. So yeah. Oh, is Matt here? Hello, Matt. Matt from the hit podcast Jam Mechanics. If you'll notice, I don't know, I'm not going to be able to point to it because it's too far on the other side of the poster, but in the little side there, you can see featuring songs from Jam Mechanics, a little tag there on the side of the poster for this upcoming tour. We're going to be doing some Jam Mechanics songs on this tour, so it should be awesome. Okay, so Julie wants to know, how do I prepare for tour? Do you need to spend some time remembering how to play your songs? I'll be real honest with you, y'all are seeing it right now. This is how I prepare for tour and keep my songs in my head. I stream at least once a week to keep things fresh and to remember how to play my songs. So when I go on tour, I'm like, oh, it's been 2 months since I played Alchemical Romance, but it hasn't been 6 months since I played Alchemical Romance. So, yeah. Yeah, and then right before the tour, I will try to play a bit more often because if I don't play a live show in a little bit, I'll tend to lose my voice by the end of the show because I just haven't built up the stamina. Like I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I had a day where I had a 3-song private show on Zoom and a 5-song private show on Zoom, and by that 8th song, that 7th and 8th song, I was rough. I was not feeling great voice-wise, yeah, I cap out if I haven't played a lot in a while. Around 6 or 7 songs, my voice starts to kind of give. So, Julie wants to know, when do I finalize the set list? As soon as I'm off stage, that is when I know that the set list has been finalized. I generally write my set list every night, the hour before we get to the venue. I'll just be in the van. If it's just me, it's real easy because then I can just do whatever. If it's Kyle and Jesse are there, I gotta kind of ask them like, hey, do you know anything off Torn Between a Couple? Do you remember those songs? And they'll be like, yeah, and then they'll listen to them in their earbuds for a second. And then they just bust it out. But honestly, if we're on stage and someone yells out something and I just look at them and I'm like, can you do it? They're just like, yeah, they're fine. Yeah. Kirby says, what's your favorite part of touring? It's definitely hanging out with my friends. It's, we get about 4 weeks a year where it's me and Matt and Papa Bug and Kyle and Jesse in the van. Yeah, it's great. And I mean, beyond that, like, I don't know, I get to travel the world, just playing music for people and having people be real excited to say hello and meet me. There's nothing bad about that. It's great. Jay's Art Place asks, will Papa Bug come to the Philadelphia show? I'm gonna say probably. Papa Bug won't be at every show this year, as opposed to the last 2 years, just because we're just scheduling around some other things. But he'll be at most shows. I'd say good 80%, probably. So, Snaggletooth wants to know, is your tour van your everyday vehicle? That's a great question. We don't tour enough to justify me going and buying a tour van. It is much more cost effective to go and rent the tour van whenever we tour, because we don't then have to pay insurance, additional like a monthly insurance to like State Farm or whatever, for a van, and then we also don't have to worry about upkeep or maintenance. We don't have to be like, oh, we need to go get this checked and get the tires changed and all that. All like the yearly stuff. If we subtract all of that, it becomes very quickly, very apparently that we don't need to like buy a van for the amount that we tour, which is about 4 weeks, about 40 shows, and like 9 of those are on the other side of the world, so the van wouldn't help anyway. So. Connor wants to know, was there any specific reason the legs of the tour are in a different order? We kept things in the way we decided to do it. Normally we do 3 legs, and this time we decided to do 4. Normally we do a West Coast loop that has historically included Phoenix and Salt Lake and one time Denver. That was a little too far reaching. I think it was just a lot of long drives. So we were like, it's just going to be the 3 states on the left. And then in June, we were like, let's cut up the Midwest. Because what we find in the Midwest is a lot of people like to go to multiple shows in the Midwest. And so having like Columbus and Detroit and Chicago like a month apart allowed people to kind of, be like, oh, I don't have to go to 2 shows 2 days in a row. I can come see you in Chicago on a Saturday, and I can come see you in like Columbus on a Thursday, like a month apart from each other. So we just divided it up that way. And then basically then we had this big gap in the middle. Salt Lake City, Phoenix, Texas, and Denver are all very hard shows to add to any other tour because they're just way out there. If you want to get to Texas from like the next closest, like St. Louis, if you wanted to get to Denver from like Chicago or Minneapolis, they're just far away. There's really long drives. And so we're like, what if we just do a tour that is that little box in the center of the country, that is Salt Lake, Denver, Phoenix, and Dallas, Texas. So yeah. And yeah, it's just to limit being gone from home for a month. All of our tours are basically roughly like a Friday to the next Sunday, and that allows us to not be gone so long. How did the band meet? Jesse and I met at an open mic in Seattle because Jesse has his own band Galloway, which is amazing. And so Jesse was there playing Galloway stuff, and we met at an open mic and just instantly were attracted to each other's music. And so he answered a call to try out to be the bassist of the band. And then now he's the bassist and guitarist for the band. And then Kyle and I met in the dorms freshman year of college. So we've just been best buds since we were like 19. Dat Turtle says, I love to see you again at Fort Worth. I had a great time when you came to Louisville. Yeah, it's going to be at a real venue this time instead of that little black box theater. We never intended to play that black box theater as many times as we did. The second time was because we were actually trying to find a show in Houston. We tried and 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 we tried. And then one venue was finally like, yeah, maybe. And then I responded and was like, great, well, let's do it. And they didn't respond and they didn't respond and they didn't respond and they didn't respond. And then it was a day before tickets were going on sale. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. So I emailed the guys from the Black Box in Louisville and was like, hey, do you guys have this date open? And they said, yeah. It's like, okay. So we'll do Austin and Dallas instead of Austin and Houston. And so, yeah, we're going to be at like a proper like venue with like stage and lights and all that stuff. So excited. 21st Century Cinema wants to know, are there any songs from Jam Mechanics you're not planning to revisit at all? That's a good question. I wouldn't say like anything is like off limits in the sense that like the one song from Jam Mechanics that I absolutely was never going to revisit was a song called Season Your Beanie, and that ended up I took the best parts of that and made it the bridge of the final version of Dissin. So like nothing is off limits in regards of like I'll never be like, oh, this idea can never find a home anywhere. In terms of like, if you're asking like, oh, are you ever going to release this song kind of either as is or slightly modified? I don't really ever intend on revisiting Bugtopia National Anthem. I thought it was kind of a novelty song that wouldn't have any room anywhere outside of the podcast, I guess. Like the main joke in the song is like a reference to how Matt has never watched Return of the King, even though he's seen the Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring. And I was like, without that context, like it's not funny to anybody. It's barely funny as it is. So like, I don't know, that I don't see myself ever like revisiting that song. But let's see, going through everything else. Kick and Spin. I mean, do you guys want a finished version of Kick and Spin? I guess, F in the chat if you want, if you're like knocking down my door for another version of Kick and Spin. But like, I think it's satisfied everything it needs to satisfy for being a song in the podcast. Because all it does is it mostly kicks but mostly spins. Yeah, I don't know. All right, F in the chat if you want me to prioritize Kick and Spin over any is it anybody have Kick and Spin in like genuinely in like your top 5 songs that not top 5 songs that you like from Jam Mechanics, but I'm talking like you feel like I have anything absolute like whatsoever to add to Kick and Spin to like elevate it to like another level. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of done what it needed to do. Yeah, that's my feeling about it. My feelings aren't hurt. If you like it in the podcast, that's great. But if you actually want me to like revisit the song, I'd be surprised, I guess. It seems like, I don't know, it did what it needed to do. Because you have to remember, all of this stuff is about prioritization. I do not have the time to go back and rewrite every song from Jam Mechanics. Because it's just not, I just can't write songs like that. What about Songception? I love Songception. That's on my list of come back to for sure. I've done a little bit of work on that one actually. From season 2, same thing. Sammy. I don't really see a reason to revisit Sammy. I feel like that did exactly what it needed to do in the podcast, which was be the song that it was in the podcast. I don't see a reason to come back to that one. I have nothing to add to it. I have no new ideas to make it better. It's just a silly song for the podcast. Time wants to know if I'll ever release the hook. Thank you. Are you new to the stream? I've never seen your name in here before. Is it the Time of Some? Timio F Sum? Yeah. Timio F Sum asks, will you ever release the hook? Yes, I will. Dottie Splash says, my son loves you. Thank you. I don't know your son or your goober, but I appreciate them. Hey, my dad's here. Hello. Mackenzie Diaz says, please for Dynamite and the Lighthouse. Those are probably the 2 from season 2 that if I had to do 2, I'd probably do. Lighthouse because it was everybody's favorite, and Dynamite because everybody was wrong about it not being their favorite. So. Kim wants to know, do you have a favorite Jam Mechanics song? Yeah, my if I had a top 3, I'd probably say it'd be The Hook, Dynamite, and maybe Not Your Fault Kid, but Loud and Clear is kind of up there too. But Not Your Fault Kid has a special place in my heart. I also love, what's the name of it? On the Morning Commute. I would love to come back and finish that one. Kevin says that Not Your Fault Kid is one of your favorites, but it seems very different. We tough to fit on an album. Yeah, I would probably, if I were to ever release Not Your Fault Kid, I would probably just put that out as a Jam Mechanics single. I don't know a world where that would fit into a Bug Hunter album. I guess it's not impossible, but Mike is asking about photography for the Rochester show. Yeah, so my answer right now for photography is we love having photos taken. We often will hire photographers for our shows. What we're doing now is we are waiting to see just kind of how tickets go, and then we know what our budget is, and then we allocate it to different shows. So on one hand, like we'll be like, oh, you know, if we could only like have the budget to photograph like 5 or 6 shows, we probably wouldn't want a photographer to come out to a show that is maybe half sold, right? You know, it's maybe we got a big venue and it's half sold. Maybe we want a photographer to come to something that's like sold out. And so we haven't made any decisions on where we're doing like photos yet. And a lot of people will follow up that answer with, hey, I will come photograph for free. And we do not let people work for us for free. It's just Matt and I have a policy that we don't let people work for us for free. I know that can be kind of a disappointing and frustrating answer because you're offering it, not that you are, but some people have, because you're like, I want to do this, and the only thing standing in between me doing it, the thing I want, and the thing that and doing it is you just saying you won't allow it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a principle that we have. There are a lot of people who are, if they do things for us, they need to be paid for it. And when people accept free work, it makes it harder for the people who don't have the luxury of doing things for free to do those things for money. So yeah, it's hard because we get a lot of offers to do free stuff for us, and we just don't allow it. So do you have any funny stories of meeting fans? Of course I do. I have so many funny stories. Meeting fans is always the funniest. When we get in the van afterwards, the first thing we do is say like, hey, what? Anyone have any good stories? Anyone say anything funny? Anyone say anything awkward? It is the lifeblood of the tour, where we just have, I mean, we never judge anybody. Like if someone comes up and they say something silly, like I live for that kind of stuff. So it's great. We love, personally, my favorite flavor of funny fan interactions is when a fan gets embarrassed by their parent who is there with them. That's one of my faves, because if anyone's ever met my dad, you know why that would hold a special place in my heart. And I'm not going to tell my favorite fan interaction on stream, because most people, if you listen to Jam Mechanics, have heard it. Just go listen to Season 2, Episode 5. I can't tell the whole thing because y'all know it, and the ending is so unpredictable that it really is only effective when people don't know the story. Greg wants to know, do I go to any concerts? And that's a great question, because the answer is, like, honestly, no. I'm trying to think. I don't know that I've been to a concert since pre-COVID. Beyond, obviously, Bug Hunter, Narcissus Cookbook concerts. Like, I'm trying to think if I've been to some comedy shows. I went to Mabim Bam. I went to Mabim Bam twice. But I don't know that I have been to a concert in like 5 years. I don't know why, because I like music. Honestly, like sometimes when I watch people on stage, I just think I wanted to be doing that. I want to be up there. I have more fun being up there than being down here. So Mike wants to know, if not music, did you have any other career paths in mind? Yeah. I've only been doing music full time for about 3 years. So for the release of Torn Between a Couple, The Rough Draft, Bigger Than Myself, up till the end of 2021, I was working full time, a 40-hour job, as I kind of built up the band. And then I was like, you know what? If I trust fall, y'all will catch me. And you did. So it's been 3 years now, and after basically every year determines whether the next year is going to be a viable music year. And so this year, viable music year. As long as this year goes well, 2026, viable music year. So yeah, if you told me that I couldn't play music, I would probably see if I could leverage my 7,000 Instagram followers and minor fame to become a board game designer. Here's my plan in my head is I would go to a board game company and be like, look, some people like some songs that I wrote. Can I come work for you? And then you could be like, hey, Bug from Bug Hunter designed this game. And then maybe like 4 more people will buy it. And that's what I'm bringing to the table, because I love designing board games. So that would be my ideal world. Francesca asks, how did you start touring with TNC? Did you know him before you started touring? We knew each other the same way that y'all know both of us is we were similar artists on Spotify, and yeah, we met in person the morning of our first show that we ever did together in Glasgow. It's so funny thinking about it now, because I had never seen Matt play live. I'd never seen any videos of Matt playing live, like, and so and from all accounts, Matt was like, I'd never really toured like with my own music. And so like we got to that show and it was like, hey, I know that I'm going to put on a good show, because I've been doing some like living room shows with my dad that whole year. And I was like, I know that I entertain people and it's going to go well. I had no idea how Matt was going to be live, just because I had never seen it. And Matt gets up and starts playing. I think the first song you played was oh God, like it's the first song of Moth. When I sneeze, I hold it in, 'cause sneezing is disgusting. And within like 30 seconds, I was like, oh, this is Life Out of Phase. Thank you. This is going to be a great show, and it's going to be a great tour. And by the second night, I was sitting there, I was sitting in the crowd on the second night in Manchester, just watching that play, and I was like, this is a really cool thing that we're doing. I feel like I'm part of something really, really special right now. I really honestly couldn't believe it, because I had done that whole year playing like the living room shows, playing to like 40 people, 50 people, and like it was going really well. But then watching people in the crowd react to me and react to Matt, and it was the same people, and knowing kind of what we were both bringing to the show, I was like, this is something that is like really, really rare and special, and I like knew it, and which is why that was the end of 2022, and we're still touring together. So yeah, there's a reason. I think a lot of bands wouldn't stick together this long, but until people start being like, hey, we're not coming to the show anymore, you need to tour with somebody else, until it like literally impacts it to like where people don't come to the show anymore, we'll continue probably to keep playing together. And we have jam mechanics now. It's just fun when you find people that you love, just hold them so closely and tour with them forever. I'm being called a fake fan because I forgot the name of Life Out of Phase. Yeah. I'm sorry. Greg says, I'm not coming until Deep Blue Ink tours with you. Some people have been to shows with all three of us there. There have been 2 shows that Deep Blue Ink was there. It was actually, we then met, it was the night after that, that we met Deep Blue Ink at the show. So it was the 3rd show of our first tour. The Deep Blue Ink came out to the show. That was great. And I think Matt kind of knew Deep Blue Ink like separately, just from like the other work that he's done. And so that was cool, kind of bringing him back to the green room and taking pictures together. And we were all just kind of like geeking out. And then we went to Deep Blue Ink's wedding last October. So that was really fun. Mike wants to know what our favorite tour snack or post-concert meal. It's Wendy's. It's Wendy's Frosties. That is the go-to. That's more Papa Bug driven, because Papa Bug loves Frosties. It's his thing, and we indulge. Wendy's Frosty Baby. Oh, that's Wendy's Frosty Baby. Just chilling. Emily wants to know what shows are selling out the fastest. The shows that are on like sellout alert are Rochester, for sure. Boston could get there given enough time. We tried to do a pretty good job of keeping things pretty. I think DC will sell out because we lowered the cap of that venue this year because we were adding Philadelphia and Richmond. Iggy wants to know, would you consider collaborating with Drawfee? You have similar audiences. Yes, I have emailed Drawfee for that, and they did not respond. So maybe someday. Cool. Let me play a song because I feel like I've been talking for too long. Oh my gosh, it's 12:46. I've been talking this whole time. Why does anybody tell me? Why didn't you tell me to be quiet? This is a song. It's also the postcard of the day. It's today's postcard of the day is from Pine Cones. And so if you want to be the owner of that card that is signed, dated, numbered, you can go to bughunterdbug.com and grab that. You're the only one. Hands up if life is getting stressful. And shout if you are saddened by the news. Wow, I can literally hear all of you. From all 84 of you. I need some tips to cope, some data or some anecdotes, because right now nothing's working for my blues. It's true. Sometimes I deal by playing music like this, and sometimes I relax by reading books. Sometimes I go downtown, climb a tree, and don't come down and throw a bunch of pine cones at people. A crowd has formed around my tree just out of reach, and the police have blocked the street on every side. No one can climb it, and I think it's cause they know I have a pine cone here for everyone who tries. I yell, I'm gonna live to be 100. I'm gonna see them cure disease. And I'm gonna watch them go to war over the royalty. So if you need me, I'll be in the tree. Yeah, if you need me, I'll be in the tree. There's several cameras pointed up into my tree. It seems the world's concerned with what I might do next. Throwing pine cones at photographers from up here in this conifer, like Tarzan getting scouted by the Mets. Yeah, I'm gonna live to be 1,000. Got robot arms and run on robot feet. Got robot legs and robot head. My robot ass don't know it yet, so I'd be better off back in the tree. So if you need me, I'll be in the tree, cause no one's asking what would drive me up this pine. Is it protest? Am I being paid to preach or advertise? No, this non-deciduous decision was all mine. You can show a horse the ropes, but no, you cannot make him climb. And this tree's a makeshift metaphor, and I prefer to think I'm just a stressed out Christmas Christmas ornament, who needs some space to breathe. And if the camera crews and crowded streets and dozens of police are my endless pressures manifested down below my tree, then this giant stack of pine cones, they are the lame and immature ways I deal with them, but also how satisfying it is to do so to someone when they're not looking. Yeah, I'm gonna live to be 1,000,000, longer than the flowers, birds, and bees. But if I start to come undone, make like a tree and hug someone, yeah, everybody needs some space to breathe. Just recognize when it is time to leave. I'm probably gonna live forever, but should I die, and that may be preferred, take me out and bury me and plant a tree right over me, so I may help someone escape the world. Yeah, I may help someone escape the world. Thank you, everybody. Tiamat is pointing out that you can show a horse the ropes, but you cannot make him climb, as a peak line. I still remember the moment I came up with that line, because it was just off the dome. Literally, I went to this gym in Seattle during lunch. Me and my boss and a couple of my coworkers would go to this gym right down the street every day for lunch, and it was one of those gyms that they had like occasionally rope climbing, like the 25-foot thing where you climb up the rope and you touch the ceiling. And I could do it, like I was able to do it, but I would often not want to, because A, heights are real scary, don't like them, and then B, the shoe, it would tear up my shoes. Like my technique, it was probably my technique, but it would like literally, I was going through like my gym shoes, like it would just like tear all the stuff off my shoes, and I have to go get new shoes. And so I was like, it sucks. And so my boss is kind of giving me grief about not doing the rope climbing that day. And I was like, you know what? I know how to do it. Like, you can show a horse the ropes, can't make him climb. And I literally stopped and I was like, hold on. I gotta text that to myself. That's a pretty good line. And then at the same time, I was kind of writing pine cones and was going through just kind of my list of lyrics. And I was like, oh, hold on now. Hold on. Climbing, trees, climbing, ropes, climb, trees. Boom. There we go. So, yeah. Let's do a little bit more cozy Q&A before I go. For some reason, it's we're having like weird weather where it's like warm and then it's cold and it's warm and it's cold, and my house doesn't know what to do. Because like, yeah, turn the heat on, but then it's like warm the next day. I'm pretty warm right now, and I feel like I don't want to be upstairs much longer. So what I'll probably do is talk for 5 more minutes, play a song, and then I'm gonna go outside. Let's see. The only other things I have to tell y'all about is I'd say if you are looking at this, you want VIP tickets, which are the thing that you got to worry about actually selling out. Already sold out in Portland, already sold out in Boston. There are, I think, 3 left in Fort Worth. Very, very low in Columbus. Yeah, like 3 left in Columbus too. Denver, getting there. I think there's single digits in Denver, single digits in, I don't know San Francisco because they won't tell me. I keep emailing them every day like, hey, can you get the counts for the VIP to me? And they just ignore me. So given that San Francisco is a city like Portland and like Boston, you might want to, I don't know, it's probably might be pretty close. Same for DC. DC won't give me the counts either. So DC could be sold out. I have no idea. But I'd check in on that. I know that Rochester is pretty close. Both Seattle's, if we're only doing 1 Seattle show, it'd be sold out. But because we're doing 2, we got a little more wiggle room. But they're both over half sold out. Funny note about Reno. So far, only VIP tickets have been sold to Reno, which is, I just think, so funny. Yeah. Julie asked, did you meet your new neighbors yet? Yes. I talked about how we had some new neighbors and they're very friend-shaped. Yes, we took them out to dinner on Friday night and they're lovely people. And they have a dog, so... Greg says there's a new mini Jam Mechanic video to plug. Yeah, it's kind of lost on this audience because this audience mostly knows about Jam Mechanics. But if you don't, and you're like, I don't have time to listen to a 30-minute podcast, we made a Jam Mechanics mini, which is a re-edited version of an episode, season 1, episode 10, that is literally 8 minutes long, and it shows kind of what the podcast is like. It's just... Matt challenges me to write a song, I show off the song, and we talk about it for like 3 minutes. And so if you want to kind of know what the podcast is and what you're going to get out of it, you can go find that. It's like the last video I posted on my channel. So yeah, it was awesome. My dad asked, my nephew wants to know when you will visit him. I will visit you very soon, little bud. I am going to be there in not too long. So I'm very excited about that. It's not today. It's not this week, but it's pretty soon, so I'm excited to see you. 21st Century Cinema wants to know, are you planning to bring vinyls with merch on tour this year? Yes, I am planning on bringing vinyls with me. I should have all 4 of them. Yeah. It's kind of weird bringing vinyls out again this year because vinyls are not an item that people would buy every year. They might buy a shirt, like the new shirt every year, but they wouldn't go get another rough draft vinyl. So I'm like unsure how many we're going to sell. I know how many we sold last year. I don't know how many to bring because I don't know if we have sold them to all the people who will buy vinyls. So we'll see. Yeah, Timio F. Sum wants to know if we'll bring more Tea back because it's your most popular album. Yeah, we'll have some. The ratio that we sell them in is for every one Torn Between a Couple and Bigger Than Myself. We normally sell 2 rough drafts and Happiness Without a Catch. So yeah. Knacker says, out for dinner with new neighbors? I should try moving. No, what's funny though is I do have the thought of like, there's a very real chance that like they actually know my music because that happened to some other neighbors that moved into a house down the street. They didn't know me, but the guy's brother knew my music really well. And so there's like a world where we could be out at dinner and they could be like, what do you do for a living? And I'd be like, well, I do this. And they'd be like, I know you, which fills me with joy. But it didn't come up. They didn't ask me what I did for a living. So we chatted about other things. It's fine. I did say I played music. I said something like, oh, I'm sorry if like, you ever hear me playing guitar, like I'm a musician. So if you ever hear me, just tell me to quiet down. But that can mean a lot of things. So. Fire Breathing Cow says, please bring CDs as well. We never have brought CDs on tour before. I could bring a handful, but honestly, they're easy to break. So. The Timio F. Sum asks, have you introduced your board game obsession to your new neighbors? No, I'm easing into it. I didn't want to scare them off just in case. I did note that she said that one of her favorite books was Dune, so that was pretty promising. That felt like, okay, I know there's something there. There's something there. If you're into like sci-fi books, there's a chance. But then the guy was setting up a home workout station in his garage, so I was like, oh no. Oh, so now I don't know what to think. That's an unfair joke. But it did make me laugh, so. Connor says cassettes are also making a comeback, especially in the indie scene. Yeah, I know. Whatever thing people ask for, as soon as I do it, the new thing will be. When people wanted buttons, so I got buttons, and they're like, actually, we wanted enamel pins. Got enamel pins. It's like, well, but it's the patches now, the iron-on patches for the battle jackets. We had CDs for the longest time. Everyone said, if you don't get vinyls, I'm never talking to you again. We got vinyls, and now people want cassettes. So I'm honestly doing my best. when will we come to Germany again? We'd love to come back to Germany. We have yet to make any money on going to Germany, but we still love coming to Germany. So if y'all could tell more friends about us and come to our shows, that'd be great. We keep losing money coming to Germany. We have a great time, so that's why we keep doing it. But London, we make money. We'll come back to London. We probably would have made money in Amsterdam if we had had a bigger venue, but we sold out our 40 cap puppet theater in like 24 hours. So okay, I am warm, so let's do one more song and shout it out, whatever you want. Julie asked, do you manage and ship your own merch? Absolutely. Everything but hats. Hats are print on demand, shipped by somebody else. But everything else, like my merch shelf is here. You can't see me pointing. You still can't see me pointing. You still can't see me pointing. It's over there. I got shirts, I got stickers, I got more shirts, I got CDs. I sign all the CDs. So that's something if you want signed CDs. I have stickers and I have buttons and I have posters and I have all the package material that you ever want. If you buy a hat though, I have no control over that. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna get my ukulele out because I very rarely stream with the setup anymore, where it's just one microphone, and so I might as well take advantage of it by being able to play my ukulele, which I normally don't do because normally I have to plug everything in and it's just too much of a hassle. But since I'm only playing with one microphone right now, that means I could play something on my ukulele, which let's see here. I haven't played this in a hot second. Let's see what I got. If y'all want to know what I've been into lately, this isn't technically true, but it was 10 years ago. I've been getting into disc golf lately. I've got a single frisbee I throw as hard as I can. Been talking about disc golf lately. So L-E-T and me, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. Oh, it's a Saturday morning and I just need some fresh air, so I am heading on out, and y'all can probably guess where I'm going. Disc golfing, yeah, just hucking shots with my pals. We're just putzing around, we don't really know how. Step up to the tee, hit a tree, hey, no big deal, this game is free. Been getting into disc golf lately. I've got a driver and a putter disc, they're different. Been talking about disc golf lately. So L-E-T and me, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. Well, I start each morning on the course, most days on my own. It's not a spectator sport while I work on my throws, but the joggers and dog walkers all stop to watch, cause I recite the same chant every time that I toss. Double bogey, bogey par, birdie, eagle, huck it hard. Been getting into disc golf lately. I've got a regulation basket installed in my backyard. Been talking about disc golf lately. So L-E-T and me, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. Well, I've got a bag full of discs, they're worth $1,000 for the lot, but I'm prepared for whatever angle or shot. For any possible obstacles, I got just what I need. It's got a pocket for popsicles, so I don't overheat. And all the kids on the course, they are distracting and cringy, and I'm rolling my eyes when they call it a frisbee. They're hooting and hollering, all in good moods, but they'll never get sponsored with those attitudes. But wait, why am I acting this way? Did I hyperfixate again? Got in over my head. Oh, all that money I spent on frisbees. I get so obsessed I lose track of reality. I need someone else just to spell it all out for me. Don't make your hobbies your whole personality. Next time I'll ease in and try to play casually. L-E-T and me, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. games lately. Thank you so much. That was my that was a song of my little ukulele here, as my nephew calls it. Thanks everybody. That was my stream for today. I really appreciate y'all hanging out. It feels like we've had like a lot more people here in the last, like, ever since I got back from tour. It felt like we used to have like 40 or 50 people on a normal stream. We're always like in the 80s to 100 range, which is just awesome. And maybe it's just because I cut my Wednesday stream and everybody from Wednesday just decided to come hang out on Sunday. But I really appreciate everybody wanting to hang out with me for an hour once a week. It feels good to play music for people and see people get excited about the things that I'm working on. Because we've definitely entered the phase now where, you know, Dear McCracken's a 7-year-old song, Rough Draft is a 6-year-old album, where people will genuinely be like, oh, I listened to Bug Hunter when I was like in high school, or when I was in middle school, and like we've reached the stage where there's definitely people who are like, yeah, that they were a band in like 2019, 2020, and I wonder if they're still around. And like the thing about it is, like, we absolutely are. We are big as we've ever been, releasing music that is going really well, and, you know, playing shows, biggest shows we've ever played. So it's just exciting to get new people into the fold, and old people sometimes hopping back on if you haven't checked in a year or two, knowing that we're still out here doing things. So cool. If Bug Hunter was the MCU, what phase would we be on? We're still before Endgame, easily. There's some good stuff down the pipeline. Cool. So I think I'm gonna go. If you want to join our Discord, let me get you a link. I don't think we have any of our normal mods in here at the moment, so I will go ahead and just grab the link, because it's a really cool Discord. If you want to hear about these streams and things going on, things about jam mechanics, you can hop into this Discord, and yeah, just go on in there. There's a lot of people in there, but it's really not very daunting. There's less people than it looks like, and we like to hang out and chat about things. So cool. Other than that, like, if you're waiting to go buy a ticket, don't. If you wait long enough, we have to spend money on Facebook ads to track you down and pin you down and make you buy a ticket. So if you want to just do it now, it'd be great. So hopefully I'll see some of you this summer, and probably most of you in a week on Sunday. And I'm here to remind all of you that you are goobers and you should go to bed.